Reggie White actually sacked me, separated my shoulder. We were in Milwaukee. They shot it up at halftime. And after the game, they gave me pain pills. Drove back to Green Bay, took the pain pills, not to get addicted, suppress the pain. And it did that, but it also made me feel good. And I was hook, line, and sinker from that point on. I didn't search out to be an addict, so it can happen, but it can also happen being laced with something. Or, there's a lot of different ways. You don't have to be a drug or an alcoholic, drug head or an alcoholic to become addicted to it. And making people aware of what's out there is a monumental task, as you well know. But it's really scary because the persistence of the bad guy is something that I don't know if we can match at times.
I really appreciate, Brett, that you took the time with President Trump to speak out about it, to support the
Yeah.
efforts, not just of law enforcement and going after the bad guys, but educating our young people that making the mistake of taking a pill or ordering marijuana or vape online, or basically being an innocent kid and thinking that you're bulletproof and experimenting like every other generation. We didn't have that problem when we were teenagers. This is so much more diabolical. You have 22 students dying a week because they don't know. And there's been I think one of the most relevant statistics to why public school education with fentanyl is so critical is they just took a survey of that 65% of seniors in high school don't think it's a risk to take a Vicodin or from a friend, or what they think is a pharmaceutical pill from someone that they know, or to purchase it online. So what you said is true. Yes, we have. If a person doesn't die from it, they get addicted to it. It's so powerful, and that's why I so appreciate, because regardless, people listen to people that they look up to, and it's one of the reasons why I'm doing my best to see if we can get the NFL to be more involved in this, because we know how important Play 60 is to the NFL, and Play 60 is 5 to 14-year-old kids, and right now fentanyl is the number 2 killer of 5 to 14-year-old kids in our country. So yeah, we want them to play 60 and be healthy, but we also want to educate them to the dangers that they're up against out there that you and I never saw when we were kids.
Yeah, it's a frightening statistic that many kids think that it's not a bad thing to take one pill.
You won't know until it's too late.
Enter the Sold Out Youth Foundation, SOYF, a beacon of hope amid the chaos. Picture classrooms filled with students, watching a gripping video that lays bare the truth about fentanyl. With over 84% of American kids in public schools, SOYF's mission is urgent. Equip them with knowledge. Save them from a fate they don't see coming. Pro athletes step into the spotlight, their voices firm. Fentanyl kills. Musicians echo the call. Knowledge is power. Education saves lives. Even news anchors declare, this crisis must be stopped now. It's a chorus of voices, athletes, artists, leaders, rising together to confront a killer hiding in plain sight. Over 90% of fentanyl poisonings are accidental, unintended tragedies shattering families every day. There's already enough fentanyl circulating to kill every American, not once but twice. It's a stockpile of death, already claiming lives. The Sold Out Youth Foundation isn't just dreaming of change, they're building it, one student at a time. They aim to bring fentanyl education into every school, and they're asking for hands to join theirs in the fight. Visit soldouttv.com, learn more, get involved.
I think first and foremost, at home, parents or parent or grandparent, whatever guardian, if they're not in a conventional household. I've told my 2 daughters basically everything that I've done throughout my life. And, some of it is tough to tell. I'm not going to say you can or can't drink. I'm just telling you that there's no good reason, not one good reason to drink. Don't start, because it opens up the door for so much other things to come in. And so one time can be one time too many, exactly like, you said. And so as a parent, stressing certain things that these kids today deal with are different than what we dealt with. But just, being honest with them and educating them is so important.